cold wind swept through the quiet streets of Vermont as Claire stepped out of the candlelit church, her breath trembling in the air like a fragile ghost. Christmas Eve had always been her favorite night of the year, but this time it felt like a weight pressing on her chest, heavy and unrelenting. Only hours earlier, she had received the message she had feared for months. Her longtime partner had decided he needed space, which was nothing more than a softer way of saying goodbye. As the church bells chimed behind her and laughter echoed from passing families, Claire felt more alone than she ever had in her 34 years of life. And though she tried to swallow her sadness, a tear slipped down her cheek, glittering in the glow of festive streetlights, as if even the night itself was watching her quietly break. If you believe kindness, love, and second chances still matter in this world, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support helps stories like this reach more hearts. She walked toward a small restaurant she had reserved weeks earlier, back when she believed tonight would be filled with warmth and celebration. Inside, golden lights shimmered across evergreen garlands, wreaths hung in archways, and soft Christmas music floated under the hum of conversations. Families gathered around tables, clinking glasses, exchanging gifts, creating memories she longed to have for herself. Claire sat alone at a table set for two, the untouched wine glass beside her a painful symbol of what was missing. She wrapped her hands around a linen napkin, trying to steady her breathing, trying not to think about how her life had shifted so abruptly. But grief has a way of sneaking into the smallest moments. As she watched a little boy play with his candy cane and a couple kiss across the room, her eyes filled again. She turned slightly, hoping the dim light would hide the redness. She didn't want pity. She didn't want attention. She just wanted the ache to stop. Yet, life often sends comfort from the most unexpected places. Small miracles wrapped in innocence. Across the room, a little girl with soft blonde hair tied in a ribbon-red bow watched her. She held a teddy bear close to her chest, its tiny bow matching her dress. Claire noticed her only when she began walking toward her table, each step careful and purposeful, like a child on a mission she took very seriously. Behind her followed a man in a dark blue coat, his expression gentle, as if he were both her guardian and her shadow, making sure she didn't wander too far. Claire managed a small smile as the child stopped beside her, and then, without hesitation and without fear, the girl spoke words that felt like a spark lighting a dark room. She asked Claire if she would join them, if she could be part of our family tonight. The question hit Claire like a warm embrace she hadn't known she desperately needed. Her throat tightened, and for a moment she couldn't respond. The little girl's father stepped closer and whispered an apology for the intrusion, explaining in a shy, warm tone that his daughter, Nora, had simply noticed Claire looked sad and wanted to make her smile. Claire wasn't used to strangers caring. She wasn't used to kindness that came without conditions. And yet here it was, pure, genuine, offered freely by a child who felt the empathy adults often forget. She hesitated, her heart torn between politeness and vulnerability, but Nora's bright eyes and her earnest hopefulness made the decision for her. Claire nodded softly, and before she could fully stand, Nora took her hand with surprising confidence and guided her to their table. There sat a woman, Nora's mother, whose face glowed with warmth and understanding. She introduced herself as Hannah, welcoming Claire as if she had been expected all along. The evening unfolded like a quiet miracle. Claire found herself laughing, really laughing, for the first time in weeks. Between the soft clinks of silverware and the sparkle of Christmas lights behind them, she learned that Hannah and her husband, Mark, had moved to Vermont only 2 years earlier. They didn't have family close by, so they created their own traditions, decorating cookies together, singing carols around the fireplace, and inviting someone new every Christmas Eve to join them for dinner. No one should spend this night alone, Hannah said warmly, resting her hand briefly on Claire's arm. It was a simple statement, but it wrapped around Claire's heart like a blanket on a snowy night. Nora proudly showed Claire her teddy bear, explaining that his name was Buttercup because he makes everything feel softer. She even insisted Claire hold him for a while, claiming it would help her heart feel better. And somehow, impossibly, it did. The soft texture, the childlike innocence, It chipped away at the ice that loneliness had been building inside her. Claire listened to Mark's stories about the small-town Christmas festival, laughed at Hannah's playful teasing, and watched Nora's animated expressions as she danced around the table, humming Christmas tunes with all the joy in the world. Somewhere between the main course and dessert, Claire realized the ache in her chest wasn't as sharp anymore. Instead, a gentle warmth spread through her, like the first rays of sunrise breaking through an unbearably long night. She didn't feel healed. Grief never leaves that quickly, but she no longer felt alone. And that, she realized, was everything. As the waiter brought out hot chocolate topped with whipped cream for Nora and warm apple pie for the adults, the little girl crawled into the empty seat beside Claire. She leaned her head gently against Claire's arm and whispered, "I hope you come back next Christmas. Families can be big, you know." Claire's eyes shimmered, not with pain this time, but with gratitude. She looked at Mark and Hannah, who smiled back as if silently offering the same invitation. And in that moment, surrounded by people she had met less than 2 hours earlier, Claire felt a sense of belonging she hadn't felt in years. Life hadn't magically fixed itself. Her heart was still tender, still healing. But this unexpected act of kindness, a child's intuition, a family's open door, became a turning point. A reminder that love doesn't only come from where you expect it. Sometimes it finds you in a restaurant on Christmas Eve, when you need it most and believe it least. If this story touched your heart even a little, please like the video, share it with someone who might need hope today, and subscribe for more stories like this. Before you go, comment below. Have you ever experienced an unexpected kindness that changed your day or your life?